Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the SRW Radicals tonight. Round 5, sponsored by DSL Learning Services and round sponsor Warren Brown Tools. Connor, yourself, I'm hosting it tonight with Brendo on the side of me. I love doing it with Brendo, so good to see you, Brendo. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good. Hey, I'm looking forward to this one. The Radicals, as you know, very fast, aggressive driving style demanded from these cars. Oran Park, probably one of my favourite tracks in Australia, typical of Australia to take out the best thing they've got. Obviously now it's a housing development, and it's great that we can relive this brilliant racetrack here in the iRacing sim. Watched a bit of the stream last night. The F3 is fully committed around here, and I think we're going to see something pretty similar from the Radicals tonight as well.
Yeah, I think you're on the money there, mate. I think it's pretty much just going to be commitment the whole way. I was talking about when we were all at Winton. Great little track that thing is, and I was talking about just commitment, and I think Australia, it's just all across the whole board. I think with Australia is just commitment. If you don't put your commitment down, you're not going to get a fast lap time. And yeah, it's good to see. We're at Oran Park, and yeah, even one of my favourites. But they need to bring a couple of Kiwis track, Brendo, and that'd be good to see, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Rumour has it that Pukekohe was scanned before the final race, but whether or not that makes it into iRacing in the near future is yet to be seen. But yeah, we've certainly got a few tracks here. I remember Larko in the V8 broadcast this year was going through some of the racetracks here, and potential for the other New Zealand rounds, and there certainly are some really good racetracks here. There's some pretty plain simple paper clips too. But yeah, when you look around the country, there's plenty of tracks very similar in style to Oran Park, actually. Those sort of undulating elevation changes, cambered corners, that sort of thing, particularly Taupo, and at my brain's just gone completely blank. What's the one south of Auckland? Hampton Downs. Hampton Downs is very characteristically similar to Oran Park, I think, in the way it cambers and layouts and those sort of blind corners, very fast-flowing tracks. So yeah, time will tell, but yeah, definitely some of those New Zealand circuits would be great to see in there as well.
Yeah, 100%. And we might as well talk about the racing because we've got a race on and qualifying's on. Ray Oliver's just jumped up to the top of the scoreboard. Ray Oliver's just been on a bit of a hunt, hasn't he? He's just been super consistent with his scoring right now. He's he's always in that top 5, and his qualifying pace has just been unreal recently. But yeah, if he's out front, he's gone, isn't he?
Yeah, he definitely seems to be the driver to watch in the Radical series. I remember when I commentated with you a couple of weeks back at Winton, he definitely was the guy that was making all the moves. He was committed and putting out good laps, and he's almost breaking that minute mark, which I think we're probably going to see before this session finishes. They're only at 1:00.1 now as Michael Cuttager improves on Ray Oliver's time to take provisional pole. Bit of a smaller field tonight, only 15 guys in the session so far. But I think we're going to see some really good competitive racing from that lot. And this kind of circuit, as we've already mentioned, it's going to be commitment. There's going to be mistakes. We've already seen in practice guys getting a little bit too heavy, locking up on the off-camber corners. So it's going to make for some exciting battles, no doubt.
Yeah, Michael Cuttager up to P1, but yeah, with a 1 minute 0.1. Tyres are still getting into their optimal temperature as well. It's all about temperatures in the tyres as well, so get that surface of the tyre to expand a little bit more, get a bit more grip. Tyre gets a bit warmer, and Ray Oliver just jumped up to the top, only 2/10 off his practice lap time, so he's really flying now. We're on board with him now, Ray Oliver.
Yeah, Michael Cuttager jumps straight back up and beats him by 2/100ths of a second, so an absolute battle going on between those two. Cowie there gets it wrong on the final corner on his flying lap. Jacques there comes up into third with a 1 minute 0.28. Nathan Verney with a 1 minute 88. Who else we got in this session here? Cameron Edwards, Nathan Allen, Wayne Edwards, Van Dang, Cowie, and Daniel Fritz all yet to complete laps.
Yeah, I did see Daniel Fritz actually go off the track on lap 1, so hopefully his car's all good and he can get back on track. And another thing as well is Jacques. He's been really he's been really improving a lot with, you know, Ray Oliver as his teammate, and they've just been you can see they put the practice in. Like both of them were P1, P2 in the practice, and they've just been on a hunt, both of them, you know, and they've been practicing, and it's good to see two guys really, you know, learning off each other. Jacques been definitely improving, so it's good to see. And oh, Daniel Fritz just spins right in front of me. He's taking a bit of a move to get around him.
Yeah, definitely. You're quite right. I jumped into the session a little bit earlier before the broadcast, and I was watching Ray Oliver and Jacques there practicing, and they were taking turns leading laps and trying out different lines and battling each other. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's that kind of practice that makes all the difference come race time, because not only have they got the pace and setting laps, but they've also got that experience in making moves and holding lines that aren't perhaps the most orthodox. So, you know, that team environment there for those two boys, getting in that practice and good practice, as opposed to just spinning laps around and around and trying to beat a lap time.
Yeah, and that's it. And my teammates and my whole team put practice in, you know, and it's when you put that practice in, you can see so much, you know, so much out of that practice. You know, you go, okay, I was a second faster in that whole practice session. You know, you go and do a race run and you were 5 seconds quicker, and then it just keeps getting better and better and better. And yeah, it's always good to practice with your teammates as well. And Michael Cuttajar is still P1 as well. But yeah, like it's all about practice, and the boys have been practicing, so it's good to see. Who else we got on track? On screen we have Wayne Edwards. He's got the warning, early breaker. Oh, he's just had a bit of a slide coming onto the top of the bridge. Steven Sinkovic has just joined the lobby. Good to see him back in. He didn't have a great night last night, so I'm sure he'd want to do a bit better. I'm sure Steve's watching. And yeah,
Brad Wall also just joining the track as well for his first lap. I was just watching him on the second screen. He came out of the pits, missed the first apex, completely ended up in the sand, and started again. So he'll be coming around to start his first lap.
Just lost it.
And he just lost it on the final lap again. So a bit of bad luck there for Bradley Wall and that big red-eyed monster machine.
Cameron Edwards is on a good lap too in P6 right now. He's on a flyer. He's got a purple sector, 2 purple sectors. Really muscling this car to really get as much grip out of the car as possible. Coming across the line, Cameron Edwards, see what he gets. He's going to have to meet a 1 minute 0.9. Does he improve?
Yeah, puts him up into 4th place there with, oh no, that was Cowie just jumped up the timing chart, sorry.
No, I think he might have got an off track.
Yeah, so must have had an off track, yeah. Cowie jumps up to 4th though with a 1 minute. Ray Oliver back up with a 59.4. So he goes 2/10 faster now than Michael Cuttajar. Cameron Edwards having a bit of a moment there as well.
Oh, Michael Cuttajar
screen
by a 10th. Look at this.
This is an incredible battle from these two now.
They're really putting everything down now. Cuttajar not leaving anything on the table. He's beaten his practice lap by 3/10. 3/10, ladies and gentlemen. Huge amount. So really good lap there from Cuttajar. He's been quick too. Like, he's just sideways across the top of the crest there. Coming across the top of the hill now. So that's his lap gone. Where's Ray Oliver on the track? He's coming on to another lap. He's just about to finish it. So let's see where he's at. But I mean, I think both of them are really on their game now, aren't they, Brendo? Just really just pushing the cars as much as they can now, and you know, there's championship on the line, and it's always about who can, you know, be better than a certain person. And yeah, it's always good to see this little rivalry and battle on track. So it's good to see Cuttajar coming across the line for another lap here.
Yeah, definitely, they're fighting for every 10th out there at the moment. We saw Daniel Fritz there on the corner of your screen. Getting that last corner wrong again. Seems to be a little bit less grip coming up the hill, or drivers perhaps struggling with the camber of that last corner coming up and away from them. Of course, they're trying to get out as close to that fence as possible without hitting it, and any little contact or loss of traction on those rear tyres and you end up in the wall, you're spinning around.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I had a bit of a hiccup there, so I muted my mic. Yeah, so it's always about the grip, and the thing I noticed as well was P1 and P2, Michael Cuttajar and Ray Oliver, are the only ones in the 59s right now. So they've actually got they've got a second on, almost a second on Jacques that's in P3. So that's quite interesting. So maybe Michael and Ray have just found that extra bit of grip compared to everyone else, or just warmed up those tyres just a bit better than everyone else.
Yeah, I'm just watching Steven Spinovich on the second screen there. He's taken 3 spins on the outlap, and he's found himself back in the pit lane. So just
Maybe
needs to get his composure, I think, and get in a good lap. And it looks like Brad Wall's going to set his first lap time, so he goes in with a 1:01.3. That's good enough for 9th position. Bit of a benchmark lap for Brad. Of course, he's had a bit of trouble getting the car qualified as well. Running wide, finding himself off track.
The Cone Slayer, as it's been called, 9,000 on track. Brad Wall, obviously, Brendo talking about. Someone's put a purple sector. That's Michael Cuttajar. Cameron Edwards into P3. So that's a good lap by him. He's done a 59.8. He's beaten his practice lap by 2/10. All the boys are putting their cards down now. Cowie, he's up to P5. He's moved up. Cowie's on a good, he did a really good lap. He had a bit of a correction of the lap he's on now. Nathan's dropped down to P6 compared to P4, so he's probably going to go and do another good lap. Daniel Fritz, I saw on screen, he's put his first lap time down.
Cuttajar looking really good there. 2 purple sectors in that last lap, but also a couple of orange sectors. So he was only 100th of a second off his best lap. We say that like it's a bad thing, but certainly shows he's got a little bit more time in the car.
You know what's funny too, Brendo, is just you never know how much pace these guys have got in the car, because I've always, I'll go and do a qualifying lap and I'm like, I've still got 3/10 on the table. Oh, Spinovich just spinning off. Bang! There it is. But it's you go out there and you actually know you've got 3/10, but it's all about the anxiety and about getting the car to have enough grip to do that lap and just having the anxiety out of your body. But yeah, it's all about that. But Spinovich just broken wing.
Yeah, definitely. I know for me personally, whatever I set in qualifying, I could probably go a good half a second to a second faster in the race, depending on the track, of course. For some reason, I just can't seem to get a good time together in qualifying. But then when the pressure of actually setting a time is off, and you're just driving as fast as you can in the race, the lap times come. So like these guys running in the 59s right now, as Cameron Edwards gets into the 59s as well with 59.8. We could expect to see 58s in the race quite easily when when you say that anxiety, that pressure of qualifying comes off.
Ray Oliver just having a huge lock up to turn 1 on my screen, but Jacques on screen here. I see Michael Cuttajar just keep getting a purple sector each first sector, I've just been seeing it purple. So he's definitely got more pace in the car. I think it's just seeing that Delta being all green, and he's probably just, bit of anxiety's kicked in and went, oh, I need to go fast now. But, he's just went off a little bit or had a slide, and that's, of course, affected him. But if you're in Michael Cuttajar or Ray Oliver's position right now, I wouldn't be that scared.
No, and of course, second place isn't the worst place to qualify. We've got a good 45-minute race here ahead of us. So, we're going to expect to see plenty of battles on track. So it doesn't have to be one in the qualifying session.
Michael Cuttajar, 2 sectors that are purple, so he's on a good one. Cameron Edwards just beat his lap time by 1/10, so that's really good for Cameron. Slowly getting up there. I think Brad Wall. Nope, my apologies. No one's moved.
Yeah, different purple sectors from Cuttajar this time. He does cross the line and he improves his time, 59.32 now. So another couple of hundredths faster than his previous time.
Yeah, he's definitely improved, but Ray Oliver just looks like he's kind of, that's it.
Yeah, Ray's in the pit lane. There's only, 20 seconds left in the session, so probably not having time to get around.
Yeah, I think he's just went, right, I'll park it up, that will do. But yeah, I think everyone's pretty much done. Everyone's, Cameron Edwards crossing the line in P3. Michael Cuttajar still on a lap, but I think he's hasn't done too well. Cameron Edwards is actually on a purple, but he didn't get the rest of the lap. Didn't nail the rest of the lap. Michael Cuttajar coming around again. No, now he's going in the pits. So that's your qualifying done. The Radicals, SRW Radicals, sponsored by DSL and round sponsor of this one, round 5, Warren Brown Tools. So thank you to those guys. They are the round sponsor. So there's I think that's Nathan Allen on screen.
Yeah, no, Mitch Verney, I think that is.
Oh, Mitch, my apologies. You got to keep up with all these liveries, eh? It's so hard.
Yeah, especially with the Radicals too, the numbers are so hard to spot. They're so small.
yeah. Nathan Verney.
Yeah, so the last of the guys coming into the pit lane, sends it in hard.
Committed into the pit lane. Well done, Nathan.
Good practice for the pit stop. Looks like we might have a couple of guys joining the session at the last second, so we might have another couple of extra cars on the grid, or they could be watching. I'm not quite sure, but see a few guys just jump into the session now. So potentially a couple more, but 12 cars have qualified. We'll run through the grid quickly.
Yeah, go for it when it pops up. And I tell you what, from Oran Park, I don't think they should have knocked it down at all. What a great little track.
Yeah, definitely. So Michael Cuttajar takes the pole ahead of Ray Oliver in a very close qualifying battle. Cameron Edwards also in the 59s. Jack in 4th place. Andrew Cowan in 5th. Michael Verney, 6th. Brad Wall 7th, manages to get up after a pretty terrible start to his qualifying session. Wayne Edwards comes home in 8th. Nathan Allen 9th. Van Dang 10th. Daniel Fritz 11th. And Stephen rounding out the field in 12th. Looks like Jamie Dyke may have joined the race.
He might be doing
tonight.
Yeah.
He's race control, right? So the final 3 there on the grid, race control tonight. Jamie Dyke, Tyson McEvoy in the promo department safety car, and Scott Callahan as well.
Tell you what, Michael Cuttajar would be pretty happy, but I'll tell you what, Ray Oliver's in actually a better position than Michael Cuttajar right now because he's actually on the inside. So he can make a move up to turn 1, but we'll see what happens. We'll wait for the light to pop up, then we'll be ready for green.
Yeah, I think the outside line here probably is a slight advantage still. You get a bit of run down to that little kink before the heavy braking zone. So I would expect to see, providing Cuttajar gets a good start, obviously, he's going to have that advantage to carry that little kink through, run a wide line, late brake into turn 2, I guess you'd call it, and run that through. Certainly, I think we're going to see a little bit of action. These cars aren't the easiest to get off the line, and cold tyres and what is quite a heavy braking zone
and
into 1 and 2. So
lights
the lights come up.
Lights are up, and we're green. Ray Oliver doesn't get a good start.
Ray Oliver.
Absolute shocking start. He's actually went all the way back to the back of the field. Cuttajar leads everyone away. Cameron Edwards in P2 now. Oh, Jack, you're trying to get him on the outside, trying to get the good run. He gets away though. Nathan's going to be on the outside. Cowie has a look on the inside, trying to make a move. Cowie's made a move on Nathan. Nathan's made a bit of a mistake. He's on the outside. Cowie's moved up 2 spots, almost 3. The Cone Slayer almost trying to make a move up the inside. Ray Oliver on the outside. Oh, Cameron Edwards gets a bad run. He had a bit of a wiggle there. Down the
huge incident in the field as well. Looks like Cowie involved in it. Daniel Fritz and I think Steven Sinkovich may have been involved as well.
Ray Oliver's around now. Look at him.
Ray Oliver there did it all by himself. They just ran at a racetrack coming into the S's, and he's found himself spun. So plenty of action there on the opening lap. Some good side-by-side racing from the guys up the front. Ray Oliver with a terrible start finds himself slipping further backwards. Michael Cuttajar leading the first lap through, followed by Jack coming up 2. Nathan Verney up 3. Cameron Edwards down 1.
Oh, that was Jock around. Is that Jock around? Jock's around. He's in the wall. Oh, look at him.
That's big
no.
contact.
That's huge contact. The back wing's absolutely destroyed. Here comes his teammate Ray Oliver up the inside. Oh no! Oh, the juice.
Ray's had a lock up.
Look at that! Over the top. I think that's Cowie. Yes, it's Cowie up the inside. I think that was on Vang Dang. Yes, it was. Now he's chasing down Wayne Edwards. In front of him. Then the pack. In front of him. Nathan.
Absolutely committed driving from these guys.
Absolute crazy driving by them. It's all changed up now. So Cowie on the back of Nathan Allen now. Trying to get a good toe down the straight. I've been talking about it all week so far. It's all about the toe. So he's getting a little bit of it. Right up the inside. He might make it dive.
He's poking his nose through the kink. Not going to be able to make it stick. Makes himself a little bit vulnerable actually to Edwards behind him. Does well to hang on to that one. A bit more smoke in the background there on screen as well. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Looked like someone put a wheel on the dirt. Steven Sinkovich and Daniel Fritz there fighting it out for 12th and 13th. No, there's someone in the dirt. Who was that?
I think that's Ray Oliver.
Nah, it wasn't Ray Oliver.
That might have been Jacques. Yes,
like
it was.
Yeah.
This is a terrible start from the Juice cars. They've absolutely had a terrible start. Cameron Edwards off the road now. He had a huge little 2 wheels in the dirt. Nathan Verdi leading the race in P2 now. Michael Karajar leading it. Cowie chasing down Nathan Allen now in the Performance Sim Racing machine.
And you can see there Nathan Allen's car getting pretty loose on the exit of the corners. He's really driving that thing hard. Cowie's got a good line, good toe down the straight again. Looks to kink, but doesn't quite able to get the thing heavy under the brakes. Lock up from Allen. Cowie sticks his nose up inside. Gets the side by side. Going to have the outside for the next couple of corners. Late
awesome
break.
Move.
Yeah, great move there from Cowie. And Edwards coming through as well. By the look, oh no, Dan, sorry. Was it Dan coming through as well?
That was Wayne Edwards trying to get through as well. Vang Dang's in the back too. As he's trying to chase down Nathan Allen. Again, he's all over the back of Nathan Allen. Who else is on track? We've got Bradley Wall chasing down Cameron Edwards now. He's made a mistake. Michael Cuttager has absolutely blitzed the field. He's away. He's gone. So it's all happening. Scott Cullen.
Oh, hangs around. He locks up into the last corner. Picks up Oliver behind him. It looks like. Was it Oliver that got caught up there?
That was Vang Dang. He lost it.
Dang spun, but someone hit him. I think it may have been Oliver, but he ended up getting past him. It didn't cost him too much time.
No, hang on. We might need a DSL Welding Services replay for that one.
Yeah, someone definitely made contact coming up the hill.
Here it is here, DSL Welding Services replay. Vang Dang on screen. So what happened? So he's lost the rear end.
On one of the Juice cars.
Bang! Oh! He hasn't got too much damage. Who's that though?
Just cost him track position.
It has.
Could be Edwards. Yeah, Wayne Edwards, yeah.
Okay, so Wayne Edwards having a bit of contact. Yeah, he's got front damage. So one of the Juice cars, Ray Oliver, right behind him, under pressure. Look at this. Ray Oliver might make a move on before the straight lock up. Right at the hairpin. He won't get a good run. Wayne Edwards having a really bad run. Look at this. Ray Oliver going to try and make an inside move. We'll wait for it. Does he get it done? No, he's going to wait for it. Wait for the opportunity. Oh, Wayne Edwards cut the track. Now he's going to go wide. No, he doesn't. He hugs the apex. Well done to get it stopped. Ray Oliver actually has a really bad exit. He had a lock up. Front left lock up.
Yeah, he gets in that toe, but you've still got to commit heavy on the brakes. Excuse me, into 1 and 2.
Running out of breath. Brendo is right Oliver up the inside. Huge slide. Absolutely huge slide. Huge on Wayne Edwards. No contact though. That was awesome. Forget some time.
Fast there off the bridge.
If we get some time, we'll get the DSL Welding Services replay for that. He might make a move. Is he going to commit? No, he's backed out of it.
Just trying to get a good run up the hill. Takes an inside line. He's got the pass done up the inside there. So Edwards just sort of backs off a little bit, I think, and gives the position to Oliver.
How good is
easy
it
pass there in the end.
How good.
Amazing racing down the back of the pack.
You never see it too often, but it's on tonight for young and old and front runners and back runners. It's good to see.
Yeah,
Nathan
and Cameron are swapping positions up here at the front as well. Nathan's just got ahead of Cameron for second position. So another good battle at the front of the field as well, and looks like Nathan's starting to pull away a little bit now.
Nathan had a really good result a couple of rounds ago, so he'll be really enjoying this up the front now. He's been really good too. He's been improving. I've seen him doing a lot of racing recently. He's been doing a bit of skip barber in a certain league, and he's been doing a lot recently, so he has been definitely improving, Nathan. So well done to Nathan. So we've got Cameron Edwards behind him. There's a few Edwards in here. Cameron Edwards trying to get the good run out of the corner. He has done that. I'll let
amazing
you
to watch these. It's amazing watching these cars coming through that first section of the corner. They're kind of just on the verge of their mechanical grip levels. They're jumping. It's quite a bumpy track. The straight isn't necessarily flat either. You know, so you're constantly having to fight the car to hold the grip and control the bumps through the circuit. And you're sort of sliding them around the corner, but you're trying to drive in a straight line at the same time. It's a fully committed lap. We see there Bernie put his wheel in the grass there. Very easy to run wide on this corner here as we see Cameron do it a little bit. And Bernie's disappeared from the server, it seems. Dropping down the chart, possibly a disconnect going on there. He is out of here, it seems.
Can't see him on screen.
Cameron Edwards gets a free one, and he is
connection.
Yeah, he's currently 8 seconds behind our leader, Michael Cuttager, who is just blitzing out laps in the 59s right now. Cameron Edwards has a little bit of space back to Brad Wall now running in third position in the Cone Slayer. He's 4 seconds back on track. As we see Nathan Allen and Wayne Edwards still having that battle further on down the back of the field.
Yeah, they had a great battle here. I mean, all of them have just been on it tonight. Wayne Edwards is going to be really trying to reel him in here. They've been doing it for a good 3-4 laps here, so hopefully Wayne Edwards can make a move on Nathan Allen as he has a huge slide on the top of the hill. A lot of them losing a lot of aero coming across because the car actually rises up just a little, and that could really affect the downforce in this. So we'll follow on board here with Wayne Edwards here. Awesome shot over the roll bar. Cool looking shot. What do you think of this track just with these cars so far, Brendo?
Yeah, definitely this track suits these cars. It's that club circuit style raceway that these cars are really built for. It's on the edge, it's bumpy, it's rough. You've got to drive them hard, you've got to commit, and these braking zones proving quite a challenge for these guys as well. We've seen a few lockups already, which has made for some pretty exciting racing, and we've seen the Juice Boys, not that I want to pick on them, really struggle with it at the start, and they're having recovery drives now. Meanwhile, we've got some pretty good battles throughout the field. Just committed racing, eh? It's good to see.
Yeah, well, Ray Oliver, you quickly glossed over it. It was he's actually up in the P6 right now, so he's only 4 spots down, right on the back of Scott Callahan right now. Scott Callahan from 15th to 5th. He's always that guy that comes from last to wherever he ends up on the outside. Ray Oliver, awesome run, Scotty Callahan. He only does it for fun, this stuff, and
Ray got an amazing run off that last corner and just set him up nicely. And as you mentioned there, Scotty just not trying to fight him too hard, happy to sit him behind. It seems as though Nathan Verney's rejoined the session. He's now a lap down and running on track, it seems.
Yeah, that would absolutely suck.
2 laps down now, rather, I should say.
Oh, Ray Oliver is around. He's absolutely cooked it coming on the top of the hill. Too much jandle, as they say.
Yeah, just struggling with his grip levels, I think, at the moment. It's, not the first time he's had an unforced error in this race, and just lighting up the rear wheels a couple of times too often, and it's really hurting his position because he's having some great recovery drives. but just unable to sort of make them stick once he's up there, which is very unlike Ray. It's not what we expect to see from him at all.
Yeah, well, we talk about him not being like himself, but we saw it at Winton in GT3. Nathan Paleyhan coming out on track here now and locked on Ladd's entry. He was doing really well. He'll be very disappointed at what happened, but he'll have to crack on and keep going. But we talk about being unfortunate and being inconsistent for once, and I think Blake Delaney didn't do too well in the GT3s. And yeah, that was very unlike him. So maybe it's a bit of a cold getting around.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's certainly, you have your days, eh? And when it's not going your way, you just sort of can't seem to really make anything to work. And there were a few guys in that GT3 race last week that just sort of, struggled a little bit. We sort of expected a bit more from them, and they, had moments or got caught up in incidents. And at the end of the day, the Crisscross boys just ran away with it. But yeah, it was certainly interesting to see, the amount of consistency that these guys have. To see them have a bad race, it really does come as a surprise.
Yeah, it definitely does, doesn't it? And while on track, this battle, Nathan's still under pressure from Wade Edwards. This battle will probably go on until the rest of the race. Forgot to say, 45-minute race, as it normally is. And the battle's just been spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. It's good to see. Don't need a big field for good battles. Ray Oliver's still trying to get on the back of Scotty Callahan. And yeah, it's been really good.
Definitely not at all. I mean, on a short, minute-long layout like Oran Park here, 45 minutes seems like quite a long time. You're going to be doing, probably 30, 37, 38 laps, I think, just sort of a rough guess. So it's a lot of racing, and like, we've mentioned it before, this track is full commitment, right? You've got to be driving these cars on the edge to get the most out of the mechanical downforce, especially through these sweeping corners, the S's. We see Wayne Edwards coming up the final corner here. That section is pretty much foot flat to the floor as we see Wayne come in for his first pit stop of this race.
Yeah, that's a very early stop for him, but we'll see how that ends up in strategy. But yeah, Scotty Callahan, like every week we see him just come from last to just, P3, P2, P1, just that guy that just comes from the back, has a bit of fun with it. Doesn't take the championship seriously and has a bit of fun, and that's all we're about.
Yeah, well, I mean, not quite a third of the way into this race, and he's up 10 positions in 5th, and when this pit cycle comes through, it's going to be interesting to see where he ends up, if he can maintain his position or potentially gain a couple more. Wayne Edwards comes back out on track now. He's running in 11th place. No, he has come into 12th, so he is the last of the lead lap cars, which just goes to show you after 15 minutes or 14 and a half minutes, the field is still pretty close. Like we've mentioned, it's only a minute long lap, so no one is a lap down yet, other than Nathan, who suffered from that disconnection. So it's good to see that the field is still, while spread out, still fairly close.
Definitely. One of them around, Steven Sinkovich around. Ray Oliver just trying to get around him as well. Scotty Callahan gets around him.
Yeah, Daniel Fritz into the pit lane as well, down the back of the field in 10th position.
So Ray Oliver will be hunting Cowie down now. The average sim racer, as he's called.
Yeah, and as I talk about no one getting lapped, Michael Cuttager just puts one on Sinkovich and Wayne Edwards to lap the first couple of cars on track as well. So
you got to be feeling for Nathan right now, don't you? Like, on for a podium, and your internet cuts out. How unfortunate.
Yeah, yellow flag sector 2 coming up on race control chat. Not quite sure what that is. We can't see anyone off.
That would probably be with Steven Sinkovich.
Possibly. It's quite confusing watching the timing screens here, because of course every time these guys run the exit of the final corner, it detects them on the timing screen as entering the pit lane, because they're out in the pit entry using the most of the racetrack. So you sort of at this stage where they're starting to sort of make their pits, we're watching the timing screens and you see them pop up, and it looks like Michael Cuttager definitely in the pit lane now, making his first pit stop. Van Dang is in the pit as well. Cameron Edwards has followed him in. to the pit lane also. And yeah, Brad Wall's going to go in as well. So the top 3 all in the pit lane. Andrew Cowan will take the lead of this race.
Ray Oliver in as well. But as well, let's see if Denley Fretz goes in. No, he's going to stay out for another lap with Steven Sikovich. I think that's Nathan in as well. Yet there's 2 other cars in.
Fritz has already been through the lane. He went a couple of laps ago.
Oh, wow. So that's massive gains from Fritz. Huge gains. So Ray Oliver just going in the pits now. See how much time Michael Cuttager is out of the pits already. Absolutely gone. He's out of here before even Cameron even exits the pits. He exits it now, so that's a huge gap. Scotty Callahan's got on Cameron Edwards now. Andrew Cowan just leading the field right now, so he'll come in for his box now. So that was on lap 17, they've all boxed. So I think we might get, they should make it home. They might need a bit of fuel save.
Nathan and Jack also come into the pit lane 1 lap after. Cowie now moving in as well. No doubt Cuttager will get him back on that time difference. Steven Sinkovich moves into the pit lane as well. That couple of laps later. So just a bit of a reshuffle at the moment. Cuttager comes around the final corner now in 3rd. Callahan also in the pits. So Cuttager will take the race lead once again.
Cuttager
just being to see how the split plays out now.
Yeah, Cuttager just being very consistent. Cameron Edwards coming to pass the pits now. He's off the track. Oh, he made it back on the track. We'll have to get a replay of Cameron Edwards going off the track there, but yeah, 4 wheels in the dirt there. That was really close.
Yeah, it's cost him a couple of seconds as well. So as the other guys rejoin the track now, everyone's completed their pit stops. Michael Cuttager with about a 9-second lead over Cameron Edwards. A further 7 seconds back to Brad Wall. Ray Oliver another 5 seconds back as we see Nathan Allen take a spin on turn 1. In the background of that, no, maybe that's not turn 1. No, it is turn 1, coming before the bridge.
Turn 1, yep.
Yep.
How much driving have you done around here?
I mean, this was probably one of the tracks the MX-5s go to quite a bit, so I enjoy the MX-5s. I know people sort of try to graduate them and move on, but yeah, I certainly love this track for the MX-5s and the Skippies and these kind of club circuit cars, so to speak. As Sinkovich is off track again in the background. Yeah, so I really like the circuit in those sort of club cars, and Jack takes another spin in the final corner. Isn't going to cost him any positions, I don't think, but it will cost him quite a bit of time.
Nathan Allen
is coming up behind him, but I think he's going to get away with that one.
Yeah, he definitely will. It was it's pretty unfortunate when you spin around here because you lose a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely.
Nathan Allen screen.
I do remember though. As Nathan Allen takes a spin this time. So they're all doing it. Someone else is off there on the infield. Was that Jack
that was
again?
Yeah, that was Jock. So Jock's around. No one's going to get him. I think that's Allen. No, Nathan. That's Nathan up the inside. He's 2 laps down. But yeah. So Nathan Allen making a pass on Jock as well. Probably the best pass we've seen so far.
Yeah, definitely. So it looks as though Nathan Verney now on the back of Jock as well, but he is a lap down also. Currently running in 13th position. So this one's not for position.
Michael Cuttager just bringing it out to 10 seconds. He's almost the SVG tonight. He's absolutely just pulled a gap and kept the gap. Bradley Wolf 8 seconds behind on Cameron Edwards. So Cameron Edwards is pretty much in a stable position right now to be in P2. Ray Oliver trying to get on the back of Bradley Wall in P3.
Yeah, they seem to have been recovering quite well this time. Ray, he's managed to find his groove. He's or 3 seconds off Brad Wall now, give or take, and seems to be chasing him down at a pretty consistent rate. So I think Brad Wall needs to sort of just keep an eye on the rear view mirror, because Ray Oliver's definitely coming for him.
Yeah, he definitely is, and it's all about just being consistent. Oh, Cameron Edwards just taking a bit of grass up the hill. That was really close there. I saw his 2 wheels just go in the dirt, and he's taking them out pretty quickly. But Centred Sim Sports car on screen here. Matty Jones and Corey McFarlane's teammate. They're all teammates, so good to see one of them out there. Bradley Wall on screen. And P3 in the 9000 Cone Slayer. Awesome name. I need to put that on the back of my car.
Yeah, we nearly had a safety car there. Daniel Fritz coming around the final corner. And again, he seems to have struggled with that corner tonight. Puts it up in the wall, and it looked as though he was going to glitch into it and not be able to get it off, but managed to get it off at the last second, I think. A couple of cars able to get around him and avoiding the safety car. So we keep racing under green conditions.
Yeah, and we talk about safety car as well, and the safety car was you know, we look at a couple of rounds ago. I think it was last round of the SR8, and there was actually a safety car last minute, and Scotty Rankin Rattlegun was leading at about 8 seconds. So all it takes is a safety car, and he ended up going from P1 to P3. So yeah, you know, it can all happen. So yeah,
definitely changes the course of the race. Jacques there back in 9th position, currently all over the back of Nathan Allen right now, trying to get that move done. As we see, Michael Cutter just set an absolutely flying lap time, 59.4, so not too far off the qualifying pace. Nathan Verney spins in the background of Jacques there. She gets it all wrong coming off the bridge, but Jacques certainly looking to find a opportunity here to get past Nathan Allen, all over the back of him through every corner, running you know, off racing line sort of lines, just trying to create an opportunity out of something.
Up the inside, he might make the move. No, he's backed out of it. But Nathan Allen's been really under attack tonight. But look at this, Ray Oliver right on the back of Brad Wall here. Might make the move. We were talking about this. All it takes is one mistake or a safety car, and that's it. So Ray Oliver got an awesome run off the corner. He's really going to be affected. Bradley Wall, he might make the move.
For the late break.
Look at him. He might make the move. It's made. Look at this. He's got to get the car stopped. Oh, really running up the inside. Great move. Absolute stunning move.
Yeah, took about as much grass there as you dare to take. Got the inside 2 wheels up on the curb. Managed to keep it in a straight line though, and got it on the tarmac before hitting the brakes and pulled that up very, very nicely. Great move there over Bradley Wall. Puts Ray Oliver back up onto the podium, and Jacques there still trying to get the move done over Nathan Allen. We're going to see something similar to his teammate. Looks to poke the nose, but just not quite close enough to make that dive.
Oh, lock up. Look at this. Michael Cutterjar's there too. Jacques let him go. Well done by Jacques. Oh, bit of contact with the walls too. Might as well.
Yeah, that's not quite the most ideal way to let the leader through, but goes to show the pace of Michael Cutterjar really, because he's up to, what, 9th now on the grid and working his way through. He seemed to, as though he was going to make that pass even if Jacques didn't let off. He just seemed to drive straight past them. So
yeah,
absolutely incredible pace there from our race leader.
Yeah, he's really got the pace tonight. He's put a lot of laps in Michael Cutterjar. He's done really well. Across the top, he's going to try and make a move on Nathan Allen here. The carbon fibre one, it looks very club spec, as we've been saying all night. No sponsors on it. Been doing really well though. Nathan Allen, Jacques right behind him. He really wouldn't want to be seeing this right now. P1 going by him. Michael Cutterjar's going to try and make it clean across him. So he's back there. Oh, he's right up the inside. Nathan Allen's not going to move in. Good move.
Yeah, worse than that though. Jacques was sitting there sort of watching Michael trying to get the move done himself, and when the leader's splitting your positional car, he had to go with him, which he did, and he's made the move around the outside of 3. So a great pass there from Jacques, getting it over on Nathan Allen finally. Moves up into 8th position, and I think Jack's the kind of racer that he's going to want to stick with Michael as long as he possibly can, because if he can follow his lines and get some good rhythm and some good lap times in, he's going to chase down Wayne Edwards, who's currently a further 16 seconds up the track right now.
Yeah, and it's all about consistency, and that's what it's all about tonight. We're 26 minutes in, almost 27 minutes in. Still got a bit to go. We've got about 24 minutes to go, 23 now. But yeah, still a long way to go. Thank you to our sponsors as well. Should mention them by now. Racecraft Simulations, obviously Toyo Sim, Warner Brown Tools as our round sponsor, DSL as our main sponsor, Dragon RC, and Corporal. Yeah, I think it's Corporal.
Right.
So yeah, thanks to all those guys, and yeah, for hosting and doing all that they can, and yeah, thank you to all those guys. Up the inside, Cowie trying to make a move.
Yeah, I believe that's a lap. No, that's full position. So Scott Callahan currently leading over Cowie. And it's becoming a pretty good battle here from these two as well. The pink and black and the purple and black car. Nathan Verney into the pit lane. So that's an interesting sort of timing for that one. Although if they are getting about 15 minutes of fuel, give or take, it's going to be a 2-stop race. Potentially he's going to try and do the undercut and run a little bit longer on his final tank of fuel.
I think it might be a one-stopper, to be honest. If you can save a bit of fuel, you'd be alright, I reckon. So, yeah, it could be a one-stopper, it could be a two-stopper.
Yeah, I didn't actually do any fuel calculations ahead of tonight, so...
That doesn't sound like you.
Well, it was a bit of a last-minute comm. Rattle gun pulled out, and I was sort of like, yeah, I'll do it, why not? Jump in, yeah. I love watching the Radicals. And when I saw it was Oran Park, it was even more excuse to jump in and do it. So, yeah, I didn't even...
You love doing it with me, don't you, Brenda?
Oh, you shouldn't phrase it like that. It sounds wrong, but yeah, no, definitely. You know, I'm really enjoying the commentary here, and when the racing's good like this, you know, it gives us plenty to talk about, and we have a bit of banter, and you know, it fills in the night quite nicely.
It does, and we've commentated the GT3s, and someone asked me recently, what do you reckon is the most exciting from a commentary perspective? And honestly, I said GT3s. Now, normally it wouldn't be. Like, normally GT3s are a bit boring, but honestly, the series of GT3 has just been absolutely amazing, and all our series are just amazing right now, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've sort of taken on the Tuesday nights by myself with the DSL Welding Services Sprintcars, and you know, obviously Sprintcars is a bit more action all the time, so you know, I'm running out of my voice constantly. I'm sort of for, you know, 10-15 laps of a dirt track, I'm not breathing once. Because the action can just be that intense sometimes, and we had some really great racing at Williams Grove on Tuesday night. Bit of a different track on the iRacing sim. It's got no banking compared to some of the other American tracks that in the sim, and you know, the guys handled it really well. We had some pretty top drivers this week really put on a masterclass in dirt racing, and you know, that was just some incredible racing. When although the restarts were a bit shocking, granted, but once they got going, it was spectacular to watch.
Yeah, honestly, the racing's been unbelievable with Scotty Rankin and Steven Sinkovich. We did Supercars, and that was absolutely amazing. And I don't think it can get any better. So if anyone wants to join SRW TV, obviously go to SRW's Facebook page. That's where you can find all our stuff, links, everything, and to our Discord as well. And that's obviously where all our admins are and all the people that obviously organise SRW. So thanks to all those guys and all the sponsors. And yeah, this wouldn't be possible. And Brendo and I couldn't be sitting here talking absolutely rubbish.
Yeah, so it's looking like it is going to be a two-stop race. We've had a few other guys go through the pit lane a second time. Wayne Edwards, Nathan Allen, Nathan Verney have all made second pit stops,
How's this? Ray Oliver's
so-
in P3.
Yeah, great drive from him now after a pretty rough start, really. He's still down 1 from his starting position, of course. He's 6 seconds behind Cameron Edwards, but he is making time. He's running in the high 59s. Cameron Edwards sort of sitting on that 1 minute mark. So if Ray continues, half a second to a second faster, he'll close that 6 seconds up. He's got plenty of time to spare. And of course, if they are pitting again, that could make things very interesting as well, depending on fuel save, how much they're putting in the car to get back to the finish.
Yeah, and it's all about fuel, isn't it? You just got to be on the money. Don't take too much. Don't take too less. So coming down the hill on the last corner, Ray Oliver's, and it's all about just being smart as well. If you need a fuel save a little bit, fuel save.
Yeah, definitely. And I think for Ray, in terms of the championship, a 3rd place probably isn't going to hurt him too much.
No,
Brad Wall in 4th begins his transit down the pit lane now.
Yeah, well, I thought it'd be a one-stop. That's interesting.
Yeah, great lap there from Scott Callahan as well. He goes for a 15.82 as he moves up there with the pits. Michael Cuttager in the wall. He's in the sand on the exit of 1, I believe it is.
That's the
No,
back
it's
wing.
It's the coming off the bridge, I think.
What happened here? DSL welding service replay. Coming down the hill. Oh, yeah.
Through the S's, yeah. Just runs too
Wow.
wide. Puts a wheel in the grass, and a very rare mistake. Coming up to the S's. Yeah, very rare mistake there. That's a big hit on the side wall. Bit of wing damage there. Probably a bit of rear wheel alignment as well. Not going to hurt the car too much. Although he is straight into the pit lane now, so I don't know what the deal with fast repairs is in this particular series.
Yeah, so we do have a fast repair.
Oh, right. So probably be using that if he hasn't already.
Yeah, that would have dropped a second or 2. That's never good. Top 3 into the pit lane. Ray Oliver actually not far behind Cameron Edwards, so this could be a really cracking end to the race. So 33 minutes we've been going for, almost 34. So not far to go at all. So if we can go on a shot with Ray Oliver, Cameron Edwards just goes out of the pit. Ray Oliver's and he's off. So let's see. They're not far at all. This could be really good. Ray Oliver could get P2 here. Cameron Edwards could get P2. This would be really good for Cameron. This would be good. So Ray Oliver's going to be on the hunt.
Yeah, Ray's closed it down from 6 seconds to about 3.5, just under 3.5. So Ray certainly made a little bit of time on that pit stop, and it's going to make it very interesting. Currently running in 4th and 5th. Andrew Cowan and Scott Callahan, of course, having that battle on track. They've opened up a little bit, but they do lead the race. Cowie comes into the pit lane. Scotty is going to run an extra lap or 2, it seems. So Cowie will shuffle back down into 5th or 6th, I believe.
Yeah.
Scotty Callahan is going to try and run out the track a little bit, see if he can build a bit of a lead, go for an overcut perhaps. So we see Cameron Edwards make a move on the outside there. Up the home straight on a... who was it? Must have been
that was Nathan Allen.
Yeah, Nathan Allen.
Good move on the outside. Cameron Edwards really not trying to lose any time right now. Ray Oliver really on the hunt. He's not far at all. He's that car in the back there. There he is. Ray Oliver on screen. The juice car. He's got a load of teammates we saw in GT3s at Watkins Glen. Like, how many teammates can you have, honestly?
It makes you wonder, is Scott Callahan...
Oh, Cameron Edwards is off the track. Sorry, Brendo. He's off the track. Ray Oliver's just passed him on the outside. On the outside. No way. That's affected Cam massively. He's lost the position. All under pressure. Look at him. He's like, no, I've lost the position. I really need a push now. Nathan Allen trying to get into the pits. He couldn't get into the pits that time. So I wonder what happens there. Is he out of fuel?
Nathan Allen. No, Nathan's already been through. He's done a second stop. He should be all right. Yeah, I missed that from Cameron there, and Ray, of course, as we mentioned, right in that opportunity to strike on him. Michael Cullager probably worst off out of everybody, really. He's come out right in the midst of traffic, so he's sat between Jacques and who's behind him? Looks like Bernie behind him. Oh, a big moment from Jacques there as he tries to let Michael through. Gets it all wrong. And I think he's lost the position there in the process. No,
that could have been really scary.
You know, that was certainly a moment. That could have been the race leader taken out there, unintentionally, of course. But certainly a hairy moment there from Jacques in the juice car.
Yeah, that was huge. That was a huge wobble. I've never seen something like that for a while. Ray Oliver crosses the line in P2 now. But Cameron Edwards following him, trying to track him down. That was huge. I didn't think Ray Oliver would be just right behind Cameron Edwards out of the pits, but all it takes is one mistake, and he's made that mistake before the pits, and that was it. So Ray Oliver on screen now, but you gotta be a bit sad about Cameron Edwards, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. He was having a really great drive up there, and unlike Ray and a couple of the others, he's stayed out of trouble for the most part as well. So as it sits, Michael Cullager, the top three guys rather, Michael Cullager, Ray Oliver and Cameron Edwards all back to their original starting positions. Brad Wall up 2 in 4th place, Scott Callahan up 10 positions, we've mentioned it a couple of times. Big mover through the field tonight, currently running in 5th. And the splits have kind of spread out a little bit now, so Cameron Edwards 1.7 behind Ray Oliver. As we go back through the field, there's 6-7 second gaps now, so as we come into the last 8 minutes of this race, the field is starting to spread out a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it doesn't take long to get 45 minutes, does it?
It certainly seems like the first sort of 10 minutes sort of seem to take forever, but the next half hour has just disappeared. Really, it's been all on, plenty of action. Those pit stops have certainly caused a bit of shake-up, and yeah, it's really made it interesting as we see Michael trying to make his way through his lap traffic again, and all these guys just sort of having to fight for all the positions on track at the moment.
For Michael Cullager, that would have really scared him with Jacques having a bit of a wobble there. So he's probably really on alarm now almost, just trying to get through the field very safely, not lose time, not to get a broken wing, a broken diffuser, a broken front wing. It doesn't take much, does it? It's just, car gets broken, that's it. And you've probably lost.
Not at all. And I mean, the two guys he just got past, Wayne Edwards and Bernie. Wayne Edwards is a lap down now. Nathan Bernie, of course, a couple of laps down, or 4 laps down in total, I think, as a result of that disconnection earlier on in the race. So, for Michael, it's not the kind of guys you really want to risk bumping with. Not that they're taking anything away from them as drivers, but it always hurts a bit more when you're fighting cars that are a lap or 2 down.
Yeah, it definitely does, doesn't it? And he'd want to come home with this win tonight, just to show the boys, hey, this is my pace, come get me. And yeah, what a drive he's just been doing. 5 minutes ago now, clocked over. Ray Oliver still in the hunt, still trying to gain about 11 seconds on him. That's a very big drive if he needs to. Cameron Edwards in the background just with a puff of smoke coming out of that front left lock.
Yeah, well, I mean, we know Ray Oliver's got the pace, but unfortunately it's the same pace as Michael Cullager, and that 11-second gap I don't think is going to move too much unless we see another mistake from Michael. The only other guy that's run sub 1 minute is Scott Callahan, who pulled it at 59.8. Even Brad Wall, in the 1-2s. Cowies did a 1 minute .1. Most of the guys running the sort of that low 1 minute, not many, or only those 3 drivers I mentioned, being able to break that minute mark. So, Ray Oliver and Michael Cullager, pretty much identical pace, really, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. They're all on the pace, and talking about pace and other stuff, what do you think of the Porsche? Oh, that was going to be huge. Oh, Cameron Edwards just there in the centre Sim Sports car, just having a huge lock-up. Just turn one there. His tyres are absolutely melting off those rims right now. But I was just about to say, Brando, what do you think of these Porsche Cups coming up with at Oran Park?
Yeah, well, it's going to be a very different race, I think. You know, these cars are sort of on the limit, and you know, holding on to every inch of downforce they've got. The Porsche's a bit more of a tamer car, I want to say. Definitely, well, I know they're both difficult to drive for their own sort of respective reasons, but I think we're going to see a lot more of a traditional race, I suppose you could say, a lot more clean, you know, calculated maneuvers as opposed to you know, full commitment sends that we see in the Radicals.
Yeah, definitely. And we were like the last couple of rounds, it's just been absolutely hectic. As Steven Sinkovich and I have came up with that word, and he said, "What word should I use?" And I said, "Hectic." So it's going to be a hectic race, and Simon Mazzero actually wanted Braden Sagasta to come back as a bit of a battle. So we'll see if that happens, because they had a great battle at Sandown. But Simon Mazzero, how good has he been?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's plenty of you know, good guys there that can take that podium in the Porsches. It's always a pretty what's the word I'm looking for? Pretty well contested championship series.
Yeah, definitely. And then Rick Konesnov joined us last week at Winton, and he was in the PRT entry, and now he's in the 9.5 Sim Sports. So you know, maybe there can be a couple of tips thrown around with Simon and Rick to go, hey, this is what I'm doing. Hey, this is what I'm doing. Oh, let's meet in the middle. So I reckon 9.5 are going to be very strong tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we talk about the team game across the week and across the broadcasts, different series, and that communication level between the drivers of the teams and how they help each other out. And yeah, definitely in the Porsches, it's one of those things, you know, particularly setup-wise as well. On a track like Oran Park, where downforce and grip is quite important, and those big heavy cars having to maneuver around this quite technical circuit, I think the setup is going to be very key to get around here in a quick and consistent manner tonight.
Yeah, and it's just been about consistency, but being on that limit, as Wayne Edwards has actually come in the pit lane because he's in an undercut and he knows he doesn't have enough fuel. Not long to go at all. It's about a minute now, so he actually, I think are we white flag?
No, not quite.
No, we're not. So another lap until we're white flag. But yeah, Rick's changed to 9.5. As I don't know if you've heard in the sim racing community, but that's a huge step, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's always interesting when drivers change teams. You know what their reasonings are, and you know, usually it's opportunity or a particular race, or you know, someone's sort of, you know, made friends with someone else, or someone's fallen out. So it does happen from time to time, but it is pretty rare to see. Most guys kind of pick a team and stick to it.
Yeah.
So just trying to find Michael on the timing screen. Looks like he's just crossed the finish line now. So we still haven't seen a white flag, I believe.
No. That should have been white. I think it's white flag.
Time is now up, but I'm not seeing a white flag showing on the...
I'm not seeing a white flag.
Yeah, so perhaps he's beaten the timing line there, Michael Cuttager. So
well, that's a bit interesting.
Yeah, a bit of a parade lap, no doubt.
So, do they all have enough fuel though?
Well, I think this lot pitted quite late. They pitted on lap 32, so we've only done 10 laps since then. So I think they'll be right for fuel. Nathan Allen did pit quite a bit earlier.
He did, didn't he?
Later pit stop. So, you know, there must have been a white flag. We just didn't see it because the checkered is now out. And Michael Cuttager crosses the line to take the checkered flag.
That was weird. And Ray Oliver
in the background as well. Ray Oliver coming over in second.
What a drive. What an absolute drive from last to P2. What a great drive. And Cameron Edwards in P3 in the Sim Sports. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, with the white flag. There was no white flag at all.
Yeah, no, it was weird. It never showed up. Brad Wall coming over in 4th place. Good drive from him as well. Pretty consistent from him. Up 3 positions. And Scott Callahan next to come across the line. No, Cowie's past Scott Callahan on the final lap.
What an awesome drive by Cowie as well. He's been doing really well as well. So well done to him. His consistency has been awesome recently. So well done to him.
We might need to pull up a DS Subboarding Services replay there because Scott Callahan had quite a split on Cowie and he managed to get him on the final couple of corners. So something went down there, I think. Scott Callahan comes home in 6th place. Jacques in 7th. No, he's just stopped. Alright, so he's, as a non-championship driver, he's pulled over and let Cowie take the points, so that's very honourable of Scotty. Meanwhile, further down the field, 8th, from the lap drivers rather, Nathan Allen finishes in 8th. Van Dang finishes 9th, Wayne Edwards 10th, Nathan Verney 11th, Steven Sinkovich DNF, Daniel Fritz DNF.
Yeah, it's unfortunate about those guys just being you know, having a lap down of certain incidents, and that's what you get in racing, I guess. You know, stuff happens and that's it, you know.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. And a short track like this, you know, those little mistakes do start to add up. You know, we talked at one stage about the field not really being lapped yet, and then a few laps later, Michael Cuttager just pulls them up and makes those lappings. You know, it's just the nature of the short circuit, I suppose. So we see our grid there lined up. Oh, sorry, our podium lined up there on the finishing line. Michael choosing to be a little bit unique and parking backwards. Ray Oliver there on the left in 2nd place, or on the right now. And Cam Edwards finishing in 3rd.
done a huge donut there.
Yeah, huge donut down the back there. So
yep. We'll move on to our guys that have got the podium tonight. So we'll bring in Cameron first. So let's go and have a chat to him and ask him a few questions, Brendo.
yeah, definitely.
Cameron, mate, what a great drive, mate, tonight. What did you think of it?
Hello.
Hello.
That was it was pretty interesting. I'm glad I'm not paying for tires, especially the front left. That's for sure, because I think I turned that into a 50-cent piece. But hopefully it was spectator viewing. That's for sure.
Yeah, because you had a few lockups, man, and was that just from pure? That was just from the tires, just being very skinny and very weak.
No, I wish I could say it was, but no, I was just putting a little bit too much left lock going into turn 1 there, and as soon as you do that and hit the brakes and these things, it just makes that part of the car really light, and yeah, she just likes to skid quite a fair bit. So yeah, I think after the 2nd or 3rd time, I kind of realized what I was doing and, and sort of eased up on the lock afterwards. But no, that was actually really good fun being up there, and Michael's just way quick tonight. So yeah, it was pretty good fun there.
Yeah, definitely, and I don't think just having a huge slide there. How was the start, mate? You just had to dodge, weave, and try and get your way through the field. With a few crashes there, like we're seeing on screen there. You're just having a huge slide on there. How was it coming back through the field, mate?
Yeah, look, I think the first couple of laps it was sort of like watching a Russian ballerina go for it, because everyone was just losing the rear end left, right, and center, and I just thought, okay, all right, if I can not get clouted or get caught up in that sort of mess, I'll be right. But yeah, look, I just did my best to avoid it, and then I think there was a couple of points where going through the back markers, a couple of people lost it a little bit there. But look, I mean, the fact is that everyone is just so respectful in these servers. It's just such a great thing to be a part of. There's not the same level of confrontation that you get in the official racing, that's for sure. So it's yeah, no, it's a pleasure to be here, and yeah, really good fun.
Yeah,
for sure, mate. Oh, okay, sorry, go on.
Definitely. I was just about to head it off to Brendan.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had my mic muted. I was going to ask the same question, to be fair, but we'll carry on. Any sponsors you need to thank tonight, mate?
Yeah, look, I can send a big shout out to the guys at Senate Sim Sports. I don't have the document in front of me, so I'm just going to wing it. But like, there's Pixel Blocks, AJ Insurance Services, and Sydney Computers, and a handful of other people that are involved in the team, which is really cool, really appreciated. And yeah, hopefully I can be back in a few more races now that uni's starting to wrap up for this semester. So yeah, good to be back behind the wheel.
Yeah, good to get a few more hours in after the work and uni commitments finish off as well.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, good to be able to relax now, which is yeah, awesome.
So did obviously being in Centre at SimSports, learn a few tricks off the boys, Corey and Maddie and a couple others?
Yeah, absolutely. Josh has been yeah, pretty big in terms of some of the more GT style cars as well. So yeah, but yeah, all those guys are, I mean, they're blindingly quick no matter what you throw them in, and I sort of just like sitting up the back and just watching them and trying to learn a few things here and there. But yeah, when I get behind the wheel, it's just good fun. So yeah,
Definitely, mate. Thanks for coming along, and well done for P3, mate.
awesome guys. Thank you for the broadcasting as well. Always good fun to watch this on the nights back. So yeah,
Too easy, mate. We'll probably speak to you in the next week, mate.
yep, sounds good.
See you then, mate. Have a good one. So
Catch you later, mate.
Bring in Ray Oliver now. Ray Oliver, mate.
Yeah, sorry, you go. You go.
Sorry, Brendo. I was going to say, what a drive, mate. An absolute drive.
Well, after the first lap, maybe.
I was going to say, what happened at the start there, mate? Did you drop the clutch, or what happened there?
I dropped the clutch and all I got was revs and a bit of wheel spin, and then I couldn't really do anything without trying to on off. And yeah, you know what it's like. Once the lights up, you're screwed.
Yeah, that's it. You just got to wing it from there, don't you? And you've done an awesome job, and I'll hand it off to Brendo, mate, because I took that interview, so go for it, Brendo.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It seemed you had a bit of inconsistency at the start there, and then a good recovery towards the end. You know, what was the key at the end, sort of just trying to, you know, obviously make your way back up through the field?
We'll just get back into rhythm. I mean, the pace that Michael and I were doing at the beginning was basically world record pace on what I've seen in the iRacing thing, so I knew we were going to be quick, but it just depended on whether we could hold it together. And yeah, we could once we got past the first 3 laps, but when it broke loose, I just had no idea it was going to break loose, and that was the problem.
Yeah, definitely, mate. You talk about that blinding pace there in qualifying we were watching. Just seemed every lap you were improving by a tenth or so and taking it off each other. You know, what was we sort of talked about it towards the race as well, like you had that big split. You know, that time difference really came down to the pit stops in the end.
Yeah, I mean, if it had been a little bit different, I could have tried to stay on Michael. I mean, I don't know what his optimal was, but I was looking at 59.1 as an optimal in qualifying, and I knew I could try and sit around that pace if I got my you-know-what together. But once you also got the dirty air, it was just killing the tyres, and the tyres were slowly going, especially for the third stint. But yeah, we still had pace there, but it was just trying to catch up to the other boys and pass them cleanly.
Yeah, for sure, mate. Hey, look, any sponsors you need to thank tonight, man?
I just want to thank Juice Energy, All Sports Gaming, Toyo Sim, the Pet Door Company, and FH Creative, and all the boys on Frog Lake, because without them, we wouldn't be here where we are now.
Yeah, sweet, for sure, mate. And congratulations on second place tonight here in Oran Park.